And from Star Wars, we stick with Disney News.
Oh God,
because they own everything. Never end. And it's Disney nixing the Fox from 20th Century Fox. Yes. I understand why, but it also don't like it. And I mean that
in the same boat.
I mean that I understand why they're getting away from the Fox for multiple reasons. And I think a lot of people are just like coming out and be like, oh, well, it's, Fox News and that culture and whatever. Yeah, probably a little bit because, Disney doesn't really want to be associated with political issues. I get it. It doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. I get it. But I think more so in terms of wanting to get away from the superhero films that they did too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more issues than just what, off the cuff. Oh, it's because of politics. Give a little more credit to them. There's more than that reason. I also don't like it because there's a history. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
There is 20th Century Fox. That intro became so iconic that even when the Simpsons start making fun of you, that it's something that is in the pop culture to stay. And that like to see 20th Century Fox, that meant something. For pre-television, that meant something. Like, it's iconic. What sucks for me is that it's an iconically American thing, like cinema.
Oh, very much.
Like Hollywood. And 20th Century Fox feels, I know it's different now, but it still like has that connection to old Hollywood, like when things were like art. And
yes, the longest continuity of like all these great films.
Exactly. And it hurts me more to see them drop the Fox Searchlight to just become Searchlight, because that's where the bigger, like more impactful dramas and like good films were done at Fox Searchlight.
They were the more artsy.
Right. And so they still continue to that. And like, this is an 85-year-old studio's name. And it shows like you bought just the properties. You don't actually care about Fox as like history. Disney doesn't give a shit. And it has to be because they're going to start integrating these characters and these properties into Disney products and into Disney parks. You know what I mean? Now that they own this history.
Yes.
And if it says something 20th Century Fox, if they can remove the Fox from it, people will now grow up in an age where they associate this stuff with Disney. And there's no connection to another network. Of course, yes, you take the Fox logo out and you're not associated with the political news section, but you also take it out and you kind of wash away the past a little bit, and to make a new generation feel like all this stuff belonged to Disney. Because I bet you they're going to re-release a bunch of old classic films and they'll remove the Fox from it, and it'll just be 20th Century or Searchlight Pictures, and there'll be a Disney branding somewhere at the beginning. And so I feel like we're going to lose, or they're trying to distance themselves because they want control and they don't want you to think about 20th Century Fox. They just want you to think of, oh, look, we've been making movies forever.
To be fair, and it really does feed into that studio history.
Mm-hmm.
20th Century Fox was a merger between two. I don't think I touched on it in the article, but 85 years ago, they joined together because they weren't doing too good. And they became 20. And instead of being Fox Studios in 20th Century, they became 20th Century Fox.
That was the whole point, right? To compete with Paramounts and the other ones.
Yes.
And they're still around, so it worked.
Obviously.
Some people are calling it a political move. I understand that. I see it more as Disney wants to integrate the brand and remove another company from it. It's the EA mentality. Buy them up, take all their shit, and don't ever think of them as their own independent thing. You know what I mean?
Like, make sure to sell DLC.
Yes, like buy up Command and Conquer, never mention Westwood Studios again.
Mm-hmm.
Buy up BioWare and just drive them into the ground and don't really mention the name. You know, like
Anthem.
I feel like that's a little bit in the same vein here. Like, we want all your stuff, we don't want your name associated with it because we own you.
Mhm.
And it seems petty in a lot of ways, but I get it from a marketing point of view because you're going to go see stuff in Disney parks, right? Sound of Music.
Mhm.
They own Alien. Like they've wanted to do this for a long time because if you go back to the Disney parks, they had a ride in Disneyland in Tomorrowland.
Mhm.
Alien Encounter, I believe is what it was called. And it only
Yes,
ran for a
it is.
little while, but it was like you sat in these in a big circular room, and you were strapped in like a roller coaster, right? Because it was a motion
Mhm.
simulator sort of thing where you went up and down. But there was a screen, like a circular thing in the middle, and you would turn, and aliens would happen, and it was not good. But it was originally intended to be an aliens themed ride, the same kind of idea, and it
Mhm.
was supposed to be the xenomorphs, like, and they wanted the rights to that so bad. They didn't get it, so they did their own thing, and it disappeared. You saw that with Men in Black, and I think they have something with them in there. But like they've wanted these properties, so they've
Mhm.
wanted Fox for a long time, and so you're going to start seeing even some of these scarier things. If Disneyland in the '90s wanted to put a alien themed xenomorph right in, they're
Mhm.
going to do it in today's day and age where uh, kids are a lot smarter. You know what I mean? Like it's a post-internet age, and like scary stuff is cool. It's a lot more kosher, maybe to put it in like MGM Studios, which is their more adult area, or
Yeah.
have something like that. So you're going to see that. You're going to see the Sound of Music. You're going to see a lot of these 20th century products be integrated into parks and probably television shows and cartoons. God damn, imagine seeing like a Die Hard cartoon. You know they'll probably do something stupid for Disney Plus. You'll see an Aliens cartoon in the
You
style
know
of
what I'd
Clone
be
Wars.
okay with? A
Mm,
Die Hard Christmas special.
just a Die Hard Christmas special, right? Or like the Christmas in Disneyland where they do that huge event. Like, remember they had to stop selling tickets. That was the
Oh,
article, like in December for the first time because they reached capacity.
yeah.
Imagine putting like Die Hard in like Main Street or something. Like have something going on.
And if you look to your left, you'll see Nakatomi Plaza.
Well, right. So I mean, they're going to use it. I just don't think they want another studio's name attached to it right now, and I think that's
Mm.
probably the larger reason uh, for something like this, which still sucks because it is. Well, I mean, it's in your title, it's in your heading. It's the end of an era. Take away the Fox because it's not to do with the merger. Because if they really want to do it, they would take the 20th Century away too. Because, like you said, they're two separate companies that came together, but
Mhm.
you're only taking away the Fox. And it's probably because, yes, politics and also the shitty X-Men films they made.
Oh God,
And they want you to forget that real bad. So
Dark Phoenix kind of just crapped out into theaters, didn't
they
it?
just released it. I didn't even notice it.
And they're also doing New Mutants, and that does not look good.
Right, which has been done for a year and a half. They
Really?
finished it. Yeah, they had a trailer last year saying,
Oh,
like a final, almost near release trailer. It's been done for about a year.
it's been in the
Uh,
can.
it's been in the can, and they haven't said that they held it back because it was bad. Because I don't think it's bad. I just think they held it back as long as possible to just fuck with Disney. Because now I think part of the contract was they have to release it.
Yeah.
And so it's like that. It's like the Star Wars deal. When they bought Star Wars, the only thing George Lucas said is you have to release my shitty animated CGI film
Mhm.
that no one liked. And so it's like, hey, you have to release this. And I think they wrote into the contract that we're going to push it as far back as possible. And it's a horror film now. It's not
Mhm.
connected to anything. It's not connected to the Fox universe, the mutants, or anything. It's just its own thing.
Off in the
So
middle of nowhere.
I assume they're going to roll it out around Halloween. It's a horror film and
Mhm.
just let it go. But that's Disney news, and it just does seem like all our favorite things are just wallowing in shit, and I don't have the energy to invest in something new. So I'm just gonna watch Deep Space Nine again and hope they don't mess with that and do anything.
Mhm.